New this morning, the FBI has raided the home of John Bolton, a former national security advisor to President Trump.
Now, the New York Post was the first to report the news, saying that FBI Director Kash Patel had ordered an investigation, per a source familiar.
Now, before the raid, Patel wrote on X, "No one is above the law. FBI agents on mission." A senior U.S. official told the Post that the probe involves classified documents, was launched years ago, but that the Biden administration had canned it for, quote, political reasons. In 2020, the DOJ had opened an investigation into Bolton to see if he had published classified material in a memoir that he released that summer. The FBI has publicly said, quote, "The FBI is conducting court-authorized activity in the area. There is no threat to public safety. We have no further comment."
Now, of course, many are now reacting on X. Journalist Chuck Todd wrote, "The senators who were bullied into confirming Kash Patel, how are you feeling today? It's not like you weren't warned that this guy would be comfortable politicizing the agency. Trump couldn't have done this without the weak Senate GOP enabling." Trump is going after all his political opponents, and MAGA is celebrating. Meanwhile, Trump hid classified documents from the FBI and lied about it and has no punishment. We are living in an authoritarian regime.
Elsewhere, many on the right are celebrating this search. Trump's advisor, Roger Stone, said, "Good morning, John Bolton. How does it feel to have your home raided at 6 o'clock in the morning?" And podcaster Nick Sorter proclaimed, "This deep state hack finally being taken down. Perp walk him." So,
look, I'm going to be honest. The timing of this raid feels very politically motivated.
Well, the literal timing is not politically motivated. I saw some people saying, "Oh my God, how could you do this to someone at 5 a.m. and
no, not the literal 5 a.m. time.
Just,
the timing,
just for
the
our
timeline.
viewers,
Yes.
They always do that. If they can, they get you in the middle of the night. They want you disoriented. So that they take you by surprise, so that you don't have time to flush documents down the toilet or whatever it is.
Right, and we were talking about that before, because I'm like, why do raids always happen at this early time in the morning? So
I think it's not a good idea, by the way. I think it makes it less safe for the officers, because
very
you
hostile.
could be confused and you could be thinking you're being robbed and you could attack them, which happens all the time.
Right. I think Bolton's history with Trump is why I raised an eyebrow from being his national security advisor 2018, 2019, to criticizing him on a lot of foreign policy, to writing that book where he called Trump, quote, "a Putin-loving moron." So the words were not minced. Trump's had a beef with this man since 2020 when he released the book. He actually had a probe he had a probe into him around that time. So this is an ongoing, I think, part of the retaliation campaign. And it's really interesting coming from the team or administration under the tutelage of President Trump, who complained endlessly about his classified documents case and the fact that his Mar-a-Lago facility was raided, and thinks this is such a misuse.
It was raided.
I know. He said it was a misuse of justice. He said that he was a victim in all this. So the fact that he would even think that this is something that and go next to Kash Patel and say this is a good idea, it's kind of like, wait, you have to pick a side. You don't like these raids over classified documents specifically.
How can the Chuck Todds of the world possibly object to this? It's the exact same thing Mar-a-Lago got raided from. So how could anyone in the media...
the Lindsey Grangers of the world thought that that was extreme.
The Chuck Todds of the world are friends with John Bolton because he's a Republican turned never Trump person, which is their favorite kind of commentator. So they bring him on TV all the time to bash Trump, even though they were calling John Bolton evil for years. I actually do not like John Bolton at all. He's an advocate for war with every nation on earth. He is uniquely bloodthirsty and reprehensible and dangerous and should have been marginalized. He was the first sign, by the way, that the Trump administration, the first time, was going to go awry, that they brought him in. But all these people who were so happy, thought it was so important. Oh, he's got boxes of documents that he didn't officially declassify. We got to go get those. Got to send in the feds to take them. How could you possibly object to them doing the same investigation?
I wasn't one of those people. And if there is a law broken and the classified information is really that pertinent, and it's not about this book where he said what I just read about President Trump, and this is really some information that he took and it has unlawful authority over right now, and he shouldn't have, let's prosecute him. I'm all for it. But if this is, it just feels very much like retaliation. And I am asking for the consistency from somebody who made a campaign out of being a victim.
I'm asking for consistency from our mainstream media.
Fine, on both ends. But I'm saying now who is in charge, because President Trump and his team like to point to Biden. Well, guess what? Trump, you're in charge right now. And if you think that this tactic was so politically motivated and so ridiculous when it happened to you, why are we repeating it?
They made Biden give back classified classified documents too, and Pence and everybody. So John Bolton is just being treated the way officials in both parties have been treated by the FBI.
Okay, and then
he is the #1 enthusiast of deep state malfeasance. So
fine, but we don't want to weaponize institutions, and I always talk about this. We're getting into this political back and forth, which I don't like from either party, where institutions not only losing the trust of the American people, but we're weaponizing them for political retribution. And I think that is a terrible, slippery slope.
The liberal consensus, just get back to me when they've figured out whether you send the cops to take back boxes of classified documents that they're not supposed to have. Do we do that or do we not do that? Just tell me which way it is.
And ask Trump that. No, it's a victim approach. It's retaliation from Biden, so why are we repeating it? Let me know when Trump decides is this appropriate or not. Otherwise, let's continue to raid Trump.
Trump has decided,
it's one or the other.
This to me,
both
I
people should come to the table.
Enemies.
You know how politicians work best? When they have, bipartisanship. And so maybe they should, people who get paid much more than us should come together and figure out how they would like to move forward.
And so I will do it to my
Right, so I'm 12, you hit me, I hit you back, right? Sometimes in school they teach you, let's talk it out. Let's go to the guidance counselor. Let's not punch the guy back in the face, right?
Well, yeah, and the media saying, I can't believe the guy who got hit is hitting someone.
My point is that both of them should stop. Either Trump needs to decide how he wants to change this precedent.
I don't even know that they should stop. You should not have classified documents if you're not part of the government anymore.
Fine, but his book may or may not be based on it. So now we're raiding this man's home. I hope they have evidence. Like, we don't want to continue to raid people's homes because we think they may or may not have.
He bragged on television about, overthrowing other regimes. I don't know.
Everything today we're going to have to keep talking about because we're running out of time. Is Trump trying to rewrite history? That's what I'm talking about next in My Lens. I'm going to break it down. Stick around.